we're a little fucked up, but we have a lot of intelligent ways of explaining our fucked upness. And that's why I disconnected from it, because I don't need nothing to remind me of me. Said her a few days ago saying that she is so embarrassing because I don't even know what to say right now. I have been defending Jada back when the entanglement with August Alsina and even with the Oscar slap, but now it's like, why were we doing all of this? Why was this even an issue, Jada? Jada used to get on the red table and talk and tell us everything in the world, but she could not tell us that her and Will Smith were separated. Now, granted, it's not our business, but if you're going to put us in your business, give us correct information, because now it's seeming like Jada is a problem. Although I also think that Will Smith is a problem as well, and we're going to get into that. Dang, this live delayed. Anyways. All right. So, first we're going to get into Jada telling the entire world that her and Will Smith has been separated. And I don't even know how to process that, because they allegedly had an open relationship, which is why I didn't understand why August Alsina was a big issue that people made it out to be. But we're going to get into that as well. Then we're going to get into Will Smith. Let's back up. We're going to get into Jada speaking about how Tupac was her soulmate. Then we're going to get into how Will actually felt about Tupac. Get into the Oscar slap, of course, and then him rolling up on Tommy Davidson for him kissing Jada in the movie Youuu. Now, these two, Tupac and Tommy Davidson's, was very early on in their relationship, so maybe Will has outgrew his jealousy, but we're going to get into kind of like the dynamics of their relationship and kind of reading between the lines. But what I think right now is that Miss Jada is going on a press run for her memoir book. It's going to pop up here, called Worthy. And from my understanding, these are the things that she talked about in her book. So let's get into Miss Jada.
To me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
It's really her right. It's the sound effects for me. And that's the thing that disconnected me from them and the red table talk, is that it's like, they're kind of like me. We're a little fucked up, but we have a lot of intelligent ways of explaining our fucked upness. And that's why I disconnected from it, because I don't need nothing to remind me of me. It triggers me. So, her and Will Smith has been separated since 2017. And since then, a lot has happened that I think was a little unnecessary, that I think that they capitalized off of the views. And I'm not mad at it, because you got bills to pay. And with her and Will being separate, it makes sense as to why she's going on this press run and putting their business out there, because she needs a way to make money. Jada is an actress, and we all love Jada, but Jada is not the Jada Pinkett that she was in the 90s, and that's because of Hollywood and the industry and all of that. But books is her way of making money. The Red Table talk show was canceled, so that stream of money from that consistent money is gone. So now she's on to her books, and now she's giving us what we didn't ask for, but that's her business. Let's go on and see. Interview was just released when Jada said that Tupac is actually her soulmate.
Think that there's times where he's referred to as his soulmate, and I would assume that
She's talking about Tupac.
Do you feel that you can have a friendship that is like a soulmate friendship that doesn't necessarily include the romantic?
Absolutely. We have soulmates. Our children can be our soulmates. I think this kind of romanticized idea of like a soulmate. You know, there's all kinds of definitions of soulmate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, definitely. I don't think if there is such a thing as past lives, definitely think Pac and I have traveled a few together. You know, in various forms. So,
has there ever been a time that you regretted the decision that you made not to take it to that level with him and to keep it in the friendship space?
it just wasn't possible. There was no chemistry between us. You know, I talk about it in the book. You know,
There she go, mentioning the book.
Imagine at the time he was in a bad, you know, he was in a space where, you know, he was in jail and all that. But it's just hard to believe that we see chemistry with the two of you guys. Even in the videos you guys dance, and there seems to be so much chemistry. But from your perspective,
chemistry, it's that friendship, love chemistry. Trust me. And let me tell you, don't think that Pac and I, like I write in the book, we had those moments, and I wish I could get people to understand the repelling nature. It was almost like God made us that way. It was like, look, I'm gonna put y'all together, all right? Y'all gonna be a dynamic duo. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna make it so. Y'all not gonna be able to get together because that just wasn't the purpose. And I know it's so hard, but we had no, and it wasn't just me.
All right. So the headline said that Jada felt like Tupac was her soulmate. But when we get into the interview, she was saying more from a friendship space, in that they were just strictly friends. Yeah. I don't even know how to process this because again, these are things that she's mentioning in her book, and I actually want to read her book to get a better understanding of it. Now, I also think that this is the perfect time for her to even speak about Tupac because he has been in the headlines lately with you know, his murder case getting solved and everything. But when it comes to Jada and Tupac, we have always wondered if there was more between them. And I do think that they are telling the truth. I think it's funny though that I guess a few years ago, what's her name? Willow wrote a letter saying how I guess she wished Tupac was here. And I think that is so creepy because you've never met Tupac. Your daddy is Will Smith, girl. I guess she hated her daddy so bad and knew how to press his buttons, which we're going to talk about that. Will Smith and his jealousy with Jada Pinkett, it is a pattern. And I think that we are spending a lot of time villainizing Jada when she probably is just taking what is going on in her life and just making it into profit for her. So Will Smith did an interview. He did an interview with the Breakfast Club a few years ago when he was promoting Bad Boys 3. And Charlamagne the God, which I love Charlamagne. I stand for Charlamagne. I really like him in the media. But Charlamagne asked him about how he felt about Tupac. And we're going to see what he says.
I'm a bit jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my God, that dude. And you know, that was in the early days.
Yeah.
That was in the early days, and it was like, that was a big regret for me too, because I could never open up to interact with Pop. Mm-hmm. You know, and because we had a little bit of a thing, right? Because you know, they grew up together. And, you know, they loved each other, but they never had that, you know, they never had a sexual relationship. But they had come into that age where now that was a possibility. And then Jada was with me, you know. So, you know, Pac had a little thing on that. But she just loved him like he was the image of perfection. But she was with the Fresh Prince, you know. So it was like, I never could, like, even we were in a room together a couple times, I couldn't speak to him, you know, and, you know, he wasn't going to speak to me if I wasn't going to speak to him. But
really? It's like y'all have so much in common.
No, that's what Jada would say all the time. She was like, I'm telling you, y'all are so similar. You will you love him, and I just never, you know, that was a huge regret of mine. I just I couldn't handle it, you know. I was this.
Isn't that funny that Will and Tupac had a lot in common? So a lot of people look at Will Smith as soft Fresh Prince because he went mainstream with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but Will is still from Philly. And we saw the Philly come out of him at the Oscars award, which was crazy. But I think it's one of those situations where Jada, I think she had a type that she was naturally connected to, and that was the Tupacs. I mean, she's from Baltimore. She's from Baltimore. How to say it? Baltimore. She's from Baltimore. So my girl, like, you know, the rough ones, but I think she kind of knew very early that wasn't a route for her, and maybe she wised up and she married Will Smith, the nice guy, which I don't think. Miss Maxine said Philly is soft. Well, Miss Maxine said it, not me. I never been to Philly, so I don't know. So I guess the Tupac, the hardcore West Coast rapper, which there has been a lot of commentary around Tupac, people saying that Tupac was putting on the image as thug. He really wasn't thugged out. You know, he wasn't as thugged out as people said. I don't know. I wasn't there. I barely was born, so I didn't get the chance to experience Tupac. People said that was just an image, but Tupac had the rapper gangster image, and Will Smith was the soft Fresh Prince. And here she is as the woman in the middle, wanting her best friend and her future husband to connect. And Will Smith, sorry, Miss Maxine said they are not soft. Philly is not soft, yeah. You know, but it's just the image that was in play. And Will Smith said how he was jealous of Jada in the early days because her and Tupac had a friendship. And although nothing happened, they were older now, so something could happen. And I get it. You know, your significant other has a friend that you're a little skeptical about. But this is not the only thing that Will Smith has done as far as in her early days. Now, if you don't know, Miss Jada did the movie Youuu, and from our understanding, they weren't supposed to kiss, but Tommy Davidson planted a wet one on Jada without Jada knowing. And Will Smith had a problem with that. Again, this is at the very beginning. You see Miss Jada right there, the very beginning of her career. And this is what Mr. Will, hard guy from Philly, because Miss Maxine said they are not soft, and her brother is from West Philly. I know that's right, Miss Maxine. This is what Will Smith had to say about Tommy Davidson kissing his girl, kissing his old lady. Because men don't play about that old lady. No, that's not it. Child. There we go.
Me and Will had a run-in.
Yeah, what you?
Yeah.
Todd, you trying?
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to put his wife in a little love.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't find out that for 15 years because he never told me that. See, he came into the trailer and I was sitting down.
Wait, this was 15 years later?
He's standing over me like this, and he's like, "I don't appreciate that, man. I don't appreciate that." And I'm like, "Well, what you talking about?" I always know to play it off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's tone.
Well, I'm sitting down.
So, this was 15 years later? Or was it?
No, this was then.
Yeah.
And then I didn't find out why.
Right, okay.
I was asking him why then, but he wouldn't say nothing.
Right.
Right, and I'm going, "What's going on, man? Tell me what's happening, man." And since he was standing,
Yeah.
and I was sitting, I'm a real nice fella. I mean, that's about physics.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, "Oh, man, what's going on, man? I mean, hey, man." He's like, "I don't appreciate that." You know what I'm saying? And Jada's going, Will, I'm saying, but, I mean, what's happening, man? Now, you tell me what's happening.
You to kiss my girl.
Dude, this is.
He about to bottom lip. He about to do something
They
bad.
might do something, right? So I'm like, you know, I did the whole, you remember the snake?
Yeah.
I did the snake. Well, what, you know, and got up.
Right.
And then I was like, you know, "So what are you talking about, man?" And I'm still in that posture.
So you didn't really know what he was actually talking about?
I didn't, but I know what he was doing.
Right.
So I was like, "Come on, man. I mean, what's up? Just tell me what's up."
Right.
Yeah, you know what's up. You know, so finally I just said, "This is a small place and people are here. You want we should talk about it. Right. Me and you outside, because it looked like you could need to get something off your chest, right? And then Jada was like, oh, no.
Jada being dramatic.
Nah, y'all. And I was like, what do you mean, nah, y'all? Tell him. And that was the end of that. Right. You see? Right. And I never knew. It wasn't until my book came out. Right. Years later. Right. Where I counted that as one of the things that really bothered me and hurt me. Right.
Because Will Smith confronted him.
Look up to him, and I love him to death.
So you really didn't know why he was upset. You had no earthly idea that it was because of an on-screen kiss or attempted kiss or what was going on.
No. You know, but I didn't know why when I was taking the subway up with my cousin uptown to the Bronx, I didn't know why when we were 14 and why these 19, 18, 20-year-olders on the other side of the train are looking at us going, what? What? We'll bust your ass. What? I didn't know that neither. Right. But I still was like, huh? Right. You know, waiting for that damn...
Okay. So, Will Smith got a little anger streak. I love Will. I don't think I could ever say anything bad about him. I stand for Will Smith. I love him. He is one of the greatest, if not the greatest actors of all time. But he was ready to put them paws on Tommy Davidson for planning a kiss. And when Tommy Davidson told him that, you know, they can step outside and talk about it, Jada was like, no. I wonder why. So when all of this happened with the Oscars, I was caught off guard. I think the whole world was caught off guard. I think we were trying to figure out if it was a skit. If, like, was this really real? Did Will Smith really walk up on a live show and smack the crap out of Chris Rock? And we're going to get back into that. We got to relive this moment. Let's go back to it.
Lord! Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Let's rewind it.
I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
He's laughing. She's like, y'all see that? Y'all see that? This how you know when somebody really about that life. When they laugh and then it hit them what happened. Let's look at that reaction again. Right there. It was simmering.
That was a nice one. Okay.
First off, to this day, it was very corny for Chris Rock to even make Jada Pinkett a butt of his jokes in that room full of multicultural people, majority white people. The Oscars is a very predominantly white show, and to say, you know, we're looking forward to Jada in G.I. Jane 2, I would have felt the way as well, because she definitely has alopecia and all her hair is off. And it's like, why am I the butt of your joke? He just did a clean joke to this couple over here. But Jada, you know, out of all the jokes that you could have said about Will and Jada as a couple, because at that time we thought they were a couple, you chose to pick out her hair. And I'm not a fan of Chris Rock anyway. So let's get to the slap. Uh-oh. Man, that smack came from the chest. He did a with it. Y'all, I love rewatching that video. And he walked off smiling.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Ooh. Yo. Look at Miss Lupita. But listen, you saw how he was just laughing. He laughed, it settled in. This look right here is a look of seriousness.
Dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my bikes now.
I'm going to, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That was greatest night.
It's all making sense now. It's all making sense now. Now, we just saw how Will Smith went from laughing, ha, 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 to face of stone. And that goes back to what we just played about Tommy Davidson when Will Smith came up to him, biting his lip, just waiting on the wrong move. So it do seem like Jada probably had a lot of anger to deal with when it came to Will Smith. Jada also, after the Matrix, like her career kind of went steady because she was taking care of the kids. And I just wonder if Jada being an actress, Jada being around all of these different men, I wonder if that was a factor where she had to choose in between her marriage and her career. And now that they have been separated for 7 years, she's trying to find her way back and find a way to maintain and make money. Now, I don't know their financial situation. I don't know if Will is whatever is set up. But with them being separated, Jada has to make money and maintain because it's not the typical 2-income household of two, millionaires, multimillionaires. And that's the thing, men can easily move on with their life because a divorce or marriage, depending on the person, is not going to make or break a man in that industry. See, Will was able to leave the house for months at a time to be the hero to the world that he was. But Jada had a lot to sacrifice because it's different when mommy is leaving. Mommy and daddy is leaving. So I actually feel for Jada. And I do think that after the Red Table Talk, putting her business out there, once that was canceled, the next best thing to do is to write a memoir. And that is to include your personal business, the drama in your life, and the things that people have speculated about you. And I think she has been quiet for enough years. And it comes off as embarrassing, but I do think that Will had a streak of jealousy there. Now, with them being separated for all of these years, one thing that was very interesting was the entanglement with her and August Alsina. Because this entanglement was revealed, maybe 2020? And he had been dropping hints about it. And people just was like, no, it can't be them two. We would have never pictured Jada and August Alsina. Oh my God. Like, August Alsina is just so unfair because when he came out, we didn't hear about him messing with nobody. And he was just such a beautiful specimen. Look at him. And he was from New Orleans, which is right down the street from us. Like, and I don't blame him for getting with Jada. I don't. But the first person that we heard about was him and her. Now, mind you, there was like some rumors on the blogs going around saying that August Alsina had a Lysol can in his pants. They said that thing was big. So August Alsina to put the meat pack on Miss Jada. Everybody's fantasy. And he was the one that she chose during the time of their split. And she said that she hadn't felt good in a long time. And he was putting the young meat on her. I ain't even mad at it. But when all of this came out and August Alsina put it out there, first she denied it. Then they did a Red Table Talk. Late at night, Will Smith, a lot of people were saying that Will Smith was hurt, but he said he was tired. I think he was angry. But just based off I'm gonna get to you. Let me read Miss Maxine comments. So, just because of his history, mind you, Will had a little entanglements with a few other people as well. With what's her name? Was it Maggie Robertson? I gotta look up her name. She played in Focus with him, and some other people. Of course, with them having an open marriage, but August Alsina was the one that did it, and she hurt August Alsina. There's this woman who was older, she's more mature, and she chose this young man for her physical pleasures. And he fell for her. And he was so hurt. Like in the interview, you can see him shaking up and crying. And I felt so bad for him because this woman broke your heart. The whole time her and Will was separated, she was steady trying to get her husband back, and that separation hurt him. And my thing is, during that time at the Red Table Talk, why did you just say that we have been separated? Because the men were dragging her through the mud for cheating on Will Smith. Her use of entanglement seemed as if she was departing away from accountability. And all of this drama, in the entire time, you and him has been separated. You should have put out the memoir back then. Miss Maxine says, I don't feel sorry for cheating behind. She been dogging him for years. Mark Anthony? What? Miss Maxine, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that till today. Wait a minute. But if they have an open marriage, is it cheating? I love Jada. I really do. I do think that, she is a big case. I think it's one of those people that when you're so effed up, you find a way to live with it. And, with her mom being on drugs when she was pregnant with her, I need to, not Mark. I gotta verify that. But, her mom is a recovered drug addict. Jada also says that I think her grandmother taught her. I think she said that she had an addiction to sex toys very early because her grandmother told her to pleasure herself, which I don't see nothing wrong with that. I really don't. I don't see nothing wrong with if you have a young lady, young girl, young woman, and you're telling her to know how to pleasure yourself first before you give that to a man. I do understand it in that concept. But that led Miss Jada to be addicted to sex toys because her sexual encounters was with sex toys and she was addicted to it. And she had her family has a dynamic of open marriages and staying together. So I do think that right now she's having that identity crisis of staying with Will or letting him go. And if y'all been separated for 7 years, baby, divorce. But I'm not married. So I understand it's a different dynamic when it comes to marriages. Because me personally, I don't know. If I get married, my husband can't get no divorce from me. We're going to figure this out. But after 7 years, I have to be like, maybe I need to go ahead and divorce him. Because how does this work? Where's Will Smith? Will Smith is slanging that thing somewhere. Why Jennifer dump him? Mr. Mark Anthony had a thing for a good black queen. So let me know, what do y'all think? When it comes to stuff like this, it's so hard to get the full details because it's somebody else's marriage and their relationship. But I do think that we need a lot of more info on this because right now, I'll tell you, it's so funny. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I got ADD or something. But when this information is put out, people begin to form opinions. And that's why I said Jada is embarrassing, because it's so hard to defend you. Like, what is going on? Like, why was August Alsina entanglement a thing? Y'all had been separated for 4 years then. Because if I'm going to address it on the red table, look, babe, we separated. You know? But it's a lot of shame, you know, when women explore or have other needs. But if y'all been separated for 4 years, you know, let it go. Anyways, go ahead and support Miss Jada, Tupac, Shakur, Alsina Smith. Support her new book, her memoir, Worthy. I may need audiobook. I'm still reading Michelle Obama's. Go ahead and support the book, and maybe we can get a deeper understanding. I still been working on starting this book club. My schedules are different now. I'm not a full creator. I do have other obligations for now through the holiday season, so I'm not able to start with everything that I wanted to start with, but I do want to start a book club. We're definitely going to be getting into this, and I do have some more books. I don't have it with me. You too, Miss Maxine. Thank you so much for tuning in with me and sticking it out this entire time. Thank you. Oh, wait, before you go, Miss Maxine, I got some more lives coming. We got DJ Kid, who allegedly affected over 700 women with HIV. Allegedly, because he has not been charged with that, but he has been charged with sex trafficking. He's going to be doing 20 years. He's going to get out and only have 5 years to serve as a sex offender. And then I got some more. I really can't remember. I got all this content written down. So yes, Miss Maxine, thank you so much for tuning in with me. I'm going to link the YouTube video, and we're going to be going live again. If you don't catch it, you can definitely do a playback. Yes, so I am starting a book club. I really don't know how to structure it, y'all. This is just a transparent moment. Like, everything that I have been doing and am doing, I'm learning it from scratch. The fuck is scratch? That Mississippi came out of me. So I'm learning it from scratch. I'm trying to figure out the best way. I'm thinking just creating a group and maybe like a text app, and we have a book of the month and we discuss it. But there's a book called The Blackest Kid. Let me pull it up. The Blackest Kid? Daughter. Give me 1 second, because I want to be correct. That's a shame, because I done read the whole book. This is my camera right here. The Darkest Child. Y'all, when I tell you that book, I sat and read that book. It probably took me a few days, like straight. That book had me so hooked. It had me mad, angry. I had empathy. But when we talk about toxic mothers, that book is it of toxic mothers, and how she's a mother of all daughters, and how her actions impacted them. Oh my God. I was so mad in that book. And not only did it end open-ended, the author of that book passed away before she was able to finish the second part of the series. So we have no idea how these characters are going to turn out. So they live with you and hunt you forever. Oh my gosh. I'm reading that in Perfect Peace. I'm still finishing Perfect Peace. Perfect Peace is about a lady. Now, she is a mother of 7 boys, total of 7. With her 7th kid, she knew it was going to be a girl, and it turned out to be a boy. And, during this time, they had midwives. It was just her and the midwife in the room, and she pretty much forced the midwife to tell everybody that son was a girl. So I'm still in the developing parts of the story, where she has a little boy and she's dressing him up as a girl, and the entire family think that he's a girl, because when you think about it, how do you know if you're a boy or a girl or not. So of course with the kid being a girl, you know, can't go in the bathrooms with other boys and, you know, got their own area. So I think that book is really interesting. And then we're going to do Worthy and Michelle Obama, but we are going to get that started real soon. Yes, so this is the end of this live. Let me know what you think in the comments about Miss Jada Pinkett Smith and what's going on. Do you think she's going through an identity crisis? Do you think Jada is really the villain that we are painting her out to be, that we've been dragging her to be? Because I'm starting to think Will Smith is a part of the problem, and he's been skating away from it. I stand Will Smith. I love Will Smith. No harm. No, there's no intention of harming Will Smith with my words. Just calling it like I see it. That Philly come out of him. If you did not catch this video, the links will be in the comments. Maybe by tomorrow, I will have it up on YouTube. I don't have any new content catch up with my podcast episodes, the latest ones. I'm not getting paid from Facebook, but we're going to see if you guys can see this. But we're going to keep rolling because Facebook can't stop me. It's in me, not on me. And yes, my YouTube link should be one of the first comments. But let me see. Let me see if I can. Damn it. Do you see a pinned comment? I'm going to drop it. It don't even matter. I'm going to drop it. Wait. Let's see. Yeah, so if you look at the bottom of the screen, it should have a link button to the far left. And that link button is my YouTube, where you can click it and go and subscribe to it. Okay, you see it. Good. So yeah, so we're finna be live and maybe in a few more minutes, y'all. I'm pressed for time. Gotta get the baby from school. So we're gonna be talking about Jason Pope and how he allegedly affected over 700 black women. I reached out to some of those women that he tagged in a Facebook post, and they ain't wrote me back yet. So I'm gonna see if I can get an interview with them or see, you know, whether they want it live or I can speak with them off the record. Thank you, Shanae. That just made my whole face light up. Thank you. Yeah, guys. All right. So let me know what y'all think below. What y'all think about Jada, August, Will and Tommy Davidson, Will and Chris Rock. Just what you think about it. Do y'all think this is important information that we need to know? You know, think about entertainment. We ain't asked for none of this, but they put us into their world, so we're going to talk about it. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Bye. Ho, it's a term of endearment.